I'm gonna have to mess with it a little bit more, but for now this should work, at least to get it started and running. God, I could probably start it tonight. We'll see how things go. If it's too late, I obviously can't, but tomorrow night, if not. Cool. So it's doing a thing. This is basically the first startup. It's cranked over once or twice, but I got a really shitty adapter set up for the exhaust. You can probably hear that exhaust leak, but there is some going past that second O2 sensor. It has idled down. We're up to temp. You can see I'm letting the coolant bubble there. No check engine lights. Super pretty. Idled down right where it should be. See the super bad glare, but we're kind of sitting right where we should be for temp as well. Let's get under here. You can hear that exhaust coming out from there. I'm hoping to get some clamps on it and make that better, but I couldn't help myself. So yeah, it's a runner. Back again with another update. You'll notice something. There's a hood on it. Kind of missed getting updates in between there. I got a little excited. So, motor's in, ready to go. Let's see, I'm trying to think. The only thing I have left to button up is obviously you can see my AC lines there. I have a new compressor pulley on its way. Let's see. So I think the only major update from this is the hood. You can see bolts coming through. That is for the hood scoop. So basically you remove the cross section, which let me get some light in here. I took out the whole center cross section. You can see that there. Made life easier. Did have some issues. There's one bolt in there and one in there. I just bent the cross section, the remaining stuff all the way up. And I was able to get those tight. That's a full gloss. Spray painted it for right now. I do need to get it body matched. I will do that eventually. My hood has, as you can see, some other stuff, and you can see I do have some chips in the hood. I will get the hood fixed at some point, and I'll get this body matched, paint matched when, oh, where's the other side? The only bit of rust I have on this thing is this quarter. This is super dark over here, but it's that guy. Where the plastic piece comes right down in here. So when I bring it in, I'll get that fixed. I'll get this quarter fixed. We'll get everything paint matched. I might just have a full respray. I'm not too sure right now. That's going to cost a chunk of change. So either way, I digress. That's all put together. The truck runs super fabulously. I've driven it a bunch now. Probably got close to 30 miles on the swap. I do intermittently get a P0171 Bank 1 lean code. Done some research. Could be a bunch of things. Could be bad air fuel or O2. Both of those are brand new Denso pieces. Could be a dirty MAF that was cleaned before I got it. Could be a vacuum leak, which is highly possible. I've gone through it a few times. I don't see any. Could be an exhaust leak pre-air fuel sensor. Since this is a 2001 motor, my front sensor is air fuel and the rear is O2. So, a couple of things about that. You can see I had an exhaust shop weld up a step down reducer right here. Didn't do a bad job. So there's the air fuel. He's in there. He's new. That's in the new dump pipe, down pipe, whatever you want to call it, that Toy Only sent me. I have a new O2 back here. Now the problem with this rear O2 is that it is pre-cat as well. I need to get an exhaust shop to put it back there. It has to be post-cat, so that could also be why I'm throwing a code. Usually, from what I've read, that would be cat efficiency code rather than the bank one lean. But since they both affect field trim, with that being said, it runs just fine. I do have a OBD2 Bluetooth. It seems to run perfectly fine, so I put the hood up again. Fuel trims, I look acceptable. I have to do some more research into what I'm looking for there. But all in all, the swap is running great. I have had very minimal issues with it, minus that intermittent lean code. I drove it for like 20 minutes this morning. It was fine. A lot of people mentioned PCV. I did put a clamp there. I don't have one here on this part of the PCV. He's kind of loose, but I don't believe it's that because it stays pretty sealed. You know, like I can pull it out, but it doesn't come out. So I am gonna probably change that hose clamp to a nicer one. Solely because it can move a little bit, and I know on the 3VZ the intake system was super finicky, so it could be that. I did buy an indoor fender well for my passenger side. I'm gonna cut a hole up here and run the intake out here once I get that inner fender in there to get some fresh air. But you can see there's not a ton of air in here. It has one little hole right here, but not a ton going on in there. And it's behind the headlights and stuff, where the 3VZ was over here. It had a hole and a little snorkel coming through. I'm gonna try and mimic that on this side for this guy, at least just to get some cool air into him. But yeah, that's it. So right now we are evacuating the AC system. I've got the R134 adapters on there, and my neighbor has this adorable little pump that makes the greatest sounds ever. Got the manifold up here. You can see it's pulling a vacuum. I have no idea what, I think he said it's supposed to be around 25. We're getting close, but it is pulling a vacuum, so I don't have any major leaks. Adapters are set up here. And yeah, we'll let it run for about half an hour. Shut the valves off, then shut the pump off, and then let it sit and see how much, if any, I lose here to show if I have a leak or not. Trying to get it straight on so you can see it's actually not sitting at 25. All right, doing some inner fender work because my intake's gonna end up, I'm gonna poke a hole kind of in that wall, in the inner fender wall right there to the left of that light. And I didn't have an inner fender liner, didn't want to suck a bunch of dirt up, so we're gonna get an inner fender liner put in. So, if anyone's curious, that's how it looks installed. Oh, let's see if I can get in here. That's the front. There's one screw back there, there's one there, and then there's a couple more along the top. Got a part number. And if anyone's curious, these are those retainer clips that look better for this. And then the screws, those are the counts you need. Had an extra retainer, you do need 10 screws. So yeah, it's all in.